welcome back to Creating Anarchy. It's your girl Brosia, and today we're doing it a little different because China couldn't be here with us tonight. My sister Natalie is joining us. Yes.
I'm so excited to be here tonight, Brosia. Oh my God, you don't even understand.
All right, drop some black hearts for my sister Natalie because she is with us tonight. Before we get started, I'm going to take a shot.
Yes, actually, I don't drink. You already know, I don't drink
Yeah.
a lot, but we're gonna spark up.
Okay, do your thing.
Yes.
This one's for China since she couldn't be here tonight.
Cheers to
And to you
China.
joining me and us having a lit ass episode.
Well, cheers to Creating Anarchy in general. Thank you for having me on here. I'm so
Yes.
excited.
Thank you for joining me. All right. So, do you think our generation is losing the ability to stay in love?
Ooh, that's a fucking good question. I don't want to say yes, but it is mostly a yeah. Like, I think it's easier probably for us to fall in love, but then the same reasons that it's so easy for us to fall in love is the same reasons it's so hard for us to stay out of love. Or, I mean, to like not stay in love so long,
Yeah.
as long as people used to.
Yeah, I think people are getting together and they're, prematurely jumping into things without, getting to know the person entirely or getting to know each other entirely and what each
Exactly.
other, requires from one another. And then
For sure.
instead of working on that, because you began to build something, they throw it away and they let it go.
Exactly. And it's so quick to be like, oh, I can find somebody else. Like, it's so easy to just be like, let me go on Tinder, let me go on Bumble. Like, there's so many dating apps. Like, there's so many, you can find your right spice and just you could go crazy. And
Even
it wasn't that easy
Instagram,
back
if
in
you
the
think
day.
about it, like think of social media. You could be a person who doesn't talk to anybody all day, but you get 1,000 likes on your picture.
Mm-hmm.
So you think, I got the world at my hands and I
Mm-hmm.
could move on when I want to. But the truth of the matter is, it's hard to find someone worthy.
Exactly. And not even just like, to go with what you said, like, oh, I have the world at my fingertips. Are you practicing that game in real life, though? Do you
Yeah.
know how to do it like that? Like, whenever you're around a person, like, you can be all of this. You could know exactly what to say, the exact right times to say it, and all of that shit. But, like, if you can't do it when you're in person, you have, like, a completely different
Yeah, you're
dynamic.
saying like when you're someone else on social media versus who
Yeah.
you are. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
for
lot of
sure.
people like that too. But so, back in the day, and our parents kind of, but more so their parents before, it was like really common for, the man to propose, shortly after, and,
Mm-hmm.
the woman is reproducing and she's staying home and taking care of home and the man is working. And, our generation is a lot different than that.
For
Why,
sure.
why do you think the change happened?
I think
Like
that
what's different now?
that's a really good point. I think honestly, niggas stopped caring as much. Back in those days, like, that's all a man really wanted to do. Like, he aspired to be a excuse me. He aspired to be a family man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that was like the ultimate goal. Like, yes, you want to have the money, you want to be able to do all of these things, but they wanted to do them for the family. That was their end game.
Yeah.
And now it's like guys don't really care about like the family dynamic. Some of them do. Like, I'm not gonna say all guys don't, but they've really like taken a step back from like, oh, I want to be this supporter. I want to be able to do this for my wife and kids. I want to be able to have the nice house. And it's gone to like a lot of guys where it's like, oh, I just want to be able to show. I want to have that show. Like,
Yeah.
I think that that's a big deal. Like,
And
back in the day, they weren't putting on a
niggas are
show
getting
like that.
sassy. Think about that. Like they're
Sassy as fuck,
requiring like the
and women
treatment that
are getting
women are
strong.
supposed to receive. They want to receive that also. Can I get some
That part.
podcasts that women started making money? And that could have been, a time when things changed, but women were allowed to work so long ago
Mm-hmm.
and marriages were still working after that.
Oh yeah, for sure. For
You
sure.
know,
I do
I
think
think it's
that
bigger than that. That could be have been something that
exactly.
initiated, you know, things are changing, men feel less superior maybe, but
Mhm.
I don't think that that's the reason that marriages were so able to work back then and now they're not.
Yep,
To be honest, I
for
think
sure.
people are just giving up because they think, like I said, the world is at their fingertips and they think that it's so easy to move on and find somebody else. And that's why people end up with 6, 7 different relationships by
Yeah,
the
because
time
they're
they're like
just losing sight.
35 because they're so easy to give up on somebody instead of being like, okay, clearly I've been through all these relationships and this person is doing the same thing that person did and so on and so forth. So maybe I should make it work with this person,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
You
And
got
to
to like
go
pick your
into I
battles.
heavy
Our
on the pick and choose your
grandparents
battles.
were like way more forgiving than than
Listen, we
I
don't
think we
even
are
gotta
today.
go into that. Like,
Yeah.
forgiving as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, and it makes sense, honestly. Like, you didn't have to worry about who's he texting on the phone, or like the most of your worries was, oh, he's late at work right now.
Yeah,
Like
they was cheating
he's staying home
at
from
work.
work late.
They was
Yeah,
cheating on
like
work trips. Men always cheated. Let's talk about that. But you didn't have to
heavy.
worry about these different models and women and
Exactly.
filter
You
pictures
don't
that
have
they're
to worry
seeing.
like, oh, he's giving his attention to all of these different bitches right now. Like, it has, I think that social media has definitely almost put like a sense of false self-esteem in women.
Yeah.
Like, because they can feel so like, oh, I'm so beautiful. Like, I have all these guys that want
Damn,
me. And then
you're ugly in real life, sis. It's just Instagram.
literally. No, but like for some of them, for real, that's really how it is. And then, but also, then that goes to like into the relationships because, like we're saying, like you think that you can just move straight on to the next thing. Like, oh, this guy's definitely going to treat me better. But like, probably not.
Probably
Like,
not.
chances are,
And
yeah,
if
chances
he
are they're all the
does,
same.
yeah, you'll suffer there too in some way. And people don't pick their battles enough. And you know, I think another thing, and this is something that we kind of not really, but went over last episode. It was like China had mentioned something about, you know, when you're hooking up, you want to have fun, so you go and you like, oh, I'm gonna suck your dick, and we're gonna, you know, experience all these fun things. But when you're in a relationship, you're more like, oh, not tonight. I'm not gonna suck your dick, right? So that's what happens when you get comfortable in a relationship. I think a lot of people stop doing those things that made it fun at the beginning, and
Oh
they made
yeah,
it
for sure.
spicy, and they stop dating. Like dating in relationships is so important. You know, making sure you're still experience, and I guess you could call it your youth and your
No, for sure.
individuality between each other, because you know you get with somebody and it becomes routine sometimes, and then you have
Right.
kids, and then you lose yourselves in that, and you don't date anymore. You just exist together, and
Yeah.
that's the easiest way to like fall out of it with somebody, especially when you're seeing all these things on social media and you're like, they're dating and this is so romantic and that, and all
Yeah.
I do is just sit here and we fuck in the bed and we watch movies. Like, then you start desiring that and think that you need to find someone else to get it when really you could boost things up with your partner.
Exactly. It's like, why don't we just try to start doing these things that we see all of these people doing? Why not us try to do that too? And
Yeah.
then it goes into so much more than just like dating, like you said, like, oh, you start off and you're like, oh, I just want to give you head, like, or like things like that. Like, that can make that, like, you're trying to put on that show for them.
Yeah.
Like, and so whenever that show comes down, it's like, oh shit, like, I thought this was what I really liked. And so you could be like, oh, he doesn't do this for me enough. This guy would probably do this for me way more, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like
And then
I should go try that out. And then a few months in,
that's what I was
he's
about to
doing the
say.
same thing and you're like, damn, I thought he just wanted to give me head all the time. No, bitch. He
Yeah.
wanted to woo
Yeah.
you. He wanted to, yeah, he wanted it. Like, period.
Tashana C said comfortability is the worst thing in a relationship, and I agree. That's how you lose each other probably the fastest way, like that, because you gotta what is it what people say, like the exact terms is like you gotta maintain what you did to get me to keep me or some shit like
Oh
that.
yeah, I don't know exactly what you're looking for, but I've heard similar to what you're saying. And you know, I just like literally just a few days ago, Dylan had this old couple and he was like, "So what's your secret to success?" basically. And they were literally like, "Act like you guys did. Um like act like you guys did whenever you were trying to get into the relationship."
Yeah.
Like in that moment. And then they also said, don't let any arguments last more than 24 hours.
I'm I'm hardly capable of doing that, to be honest.
Literally
Like
same. I'm so willing
I
to
could
try it.
let it go for some hours, but like a whole day is like for my attention needs, I can't even do that. I can't even act like I'm mad that long because now I need
Exactly.
you
I don't even
to
need,
listen.
yeah, it's like just just cater to me a little bit. Cater to me a little bit and come back
Yeah,
to me and we are gonna be so good. Solid. We don't have to let it last 24 hours because I just want you to cuddle me anyway.
yeah, mad or not.
Literally.
Tashana said basically don't start nothing you can't keep up with. Period.
Yeah, be real.
Yeah.
Like that is it's really just that. Like be fucking real. If you start off the way you're going to be throughout the whole relationship, there's not going to be any surprises. There's not going to be any like, oh shit, I didn't know that was going to be the case. Like, nah, you saw this when you signed up.
Yeah.
So for sure that.
And it's like I have something to say, but I don't want to cut you off, so I let you keep talking, and then I forget what I'm going to say. This is so bad the way my brain is. I should probably get a fucking MRI or something. Like,
You probably got ADHD like me because I swear to God, I did that like 6 times while you were talking. I was like, well,
yeah, forget what you were
again.
going to say. So why do you think that so many, well, first let me ask you your opinion. If you are witnessing your peers marriages failing, or even parents, because I guess you could like chop them up because there's a lot of broken homes in our generation. I think like
There
our
is
from
for
us being
sure.
kids, you know. For example, us two, like we got the same daddy, different moms.
Yeah,
Like
no.
yeah. So do you think that there's a lot of marriages failing more now than in the past?
I think there's probably not as many marriages failing as in the past. I mean, maybe there's like more. I think they're more publicized now. I think social media plays such a big key in everything. Like,
Yeah,
because
bitch.
there probably was so much shit. Like, obviously, like now being an adult and finding out all the tea from whenever I was a kid, I'd be like,
About the adults in our family, right?
yes, I'd be
Yeah.
like, no fucking way. So, like, I know it's like these people, like the people that be giving me the tea nowadays, like, I'm like, if Facebook would have been around, you would have been telling the entire world. Like everybody would have knew that Joe fucked around on Stacy,
And
and it would have been
Stacy
like
stayed, and but
exactly,
yeah,
and
before
that's
you
all
didn't
it would have been.
know, you didn't know that Joe did that. So it's like, oh, they have a beautiful marriage, and now Stacy's not
Exactly.
embarrassed because she kept her shit to herself. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for sure.
Exactly. That's all it is. Like it's so easy for us to just go and pour our hearts out to everybody. Like, and that makes it so easy for us to be like, oh,
But you know,
you're
cheating
kind of
isn't the
done
only reason that marriages fail. Like,
for sure.
you know,
But I think that no, you
go ahead.
please keep going. Please
It,
keep
it
going.
could be, it could be like financial issues. It could be, um, and that's like one of the like leading causes outside of infidelity, by the way.
I
It
could
could
see
be
that
like
being more than like infidelity because that's something that like you're 9 times out of 10, unless you're set up for success from
it's
the
your
jump before
livelihood.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna get that's gonna hit you at some point. Like,
Hmm.
especially if you
And
start
there's like a point
dating
where
when
you
you're
stick
like,
around and you ride it out, and then there's a point where okay, like this is affecting my life on a personal
mm-hmm,
level. So
mm-hmm.
I could see why people would, you know,
Yeah,
separate
and
from
then it's
that.
also like back then, you didn't really like people were struggling financially, but I feel like you always hear those older people that are in those relationships. Oh, I bought a house when I was 26.
Yeah,
I was
because the
like,
house was like $20 when you was 26,
exactly. So it's
bitch.
like, how much was the financial burden really hitting the
Yeah,
marriages back then?
that's true. Yeah.
Like they were and then again, you have the guy, like the fact that guys were more focused on being the breadwinner of the household. Like that was more of their focus. So it's like I could see it being more like flipped almost, I guess. Like you're not even paying any attention to me because you're too focused on making money for us.
Because you have to
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
Yeah. Tashana said yes. Instead of people going to their spouse, they run to social media and invent all their problems to get opinions from people who don't matter at the end of the day. Listen, I fell victim to that because I was so shocked and hurt by the things that were happening to me that I was just like, this is how I'm going to heal. And, you know, granted, I didn't tell details of everything, but I just made it clear my marriage is going through something. And that's one of my biggest fucking regrets. I've said it before. I wish I could go back and not fucking do that. Like, that is such a huge issue. And, you know, luckily for me, myself and my husband were able to, you know, like, we don't give a fuck what people think. So we were able to, like, work past the fact that it did become a public thing. But if I could give any advice to relationships, it's to keep your shit private, because you don't know where your mind or heart life is going to take you. I thought I was done. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. And then I, you know, you analyze things, you go over things, and I decided to be here. So now who looks like the fool? Fucking me, because I decided to tell everybody, oh, fuck this nigga, blah, 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 and turn around and end up back with him. But then, and again, I don't care if I look like a fool, because I don't care what people think, but, you know, people are naturally going to say those things.
Exactly. I think also, like, I think it depends a lot on the extent. Like, I'm about to air, I'm going to try my best not to air somebody out, but I'm going to give, like, a little background story, because honestly, this shit boggles my mind all of the time. But I know this girl on Facebook, like, strictly through Facebook, and I added her, I accepted her friend request, and then I noticed, like, every other day she's posted something like, this nigga cheated on me again. He did it again. Or, like, just posting airing all of their shit out on Facebook, like, real time. Like, I feel like I'm there with this girl. And I'm like, yo, like at a certain point, you're kind of, like, purposely making yourself look stupid. Because then the next week, oh, I'm so excited to start a family with this man. Like, yeah. I'm pregnant. Like,
you can't be back and forth with it. It looks a little crazy at that point.
It looks so bad. Yeah. And then now she's pregnant, and then boom. Oh my God, he cheated on me. I'm like, yo, like,
yeah.
Like, at least
that was me with my baby daddy. Like, with my first, I was like, fuck him. He did this, da, da, da. Then the next week, I'm like, fuck y'all haters. We in love.
I've always been the bitch that, like, I don't really post on social media, not even because, like, I don't even know. I'm not, like, I don't care what you think. Like, it is what it is. But I'm more so, like, you're gonna actually be in real time. Like, if I fucks with you, you're gonna know exactly what's happening, because you know you're on the phone with me. Like, we're cussing this nigga out together. So I never even get it to that point. But I can even say that alone has, like, fucked up shit for me, because it does get to a point where it's like, okay, can we have something to ourselves? Like, can we have an argument? Like, the relationship I'm in now, I'm a lot more thoughtful with that. Yeah. Like, I try not to air all my shit out, because it did cause a big deal in my last relationship. I'm trying to, like, learn and, like, grow and shit like that. So I think to a certain extent, like, it makes sense. And then, like, how you said, what did you say? You see, bitch, I wanted to let you finish.
Old people brain kicking in.
No, for what is that?
Can I get some podcast said, if both people are putting in the work, things work themselves out. Like Chris Rock said, 2 people can move a couch real easy. 1 person can't move it at all. Now, listen to this, because I was listening to The Breakfast Club the other day, and I don't remember what they were, like, focused on, but he had said something that said, if a man, or someone said, Charlemagne said that someone said, so I'm not quoting him, if a man has money and status, expect him to cheat and be happy that you have the kids in the ring. You won.
Wow, that is quite the statement.
Yeah, listen. And there were women that were co-signing that and being like, yeah, because, what is it? 2 people, the most successful people are people with a partner or something like that. Like, so they were basically saying that expect your man to cheat if he has money and status, but you're going to help him and he's going to help you be successful, because y'all are going to put in the work together. Just ignore the cheating.
I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah, women today are settling for that.
Sis, like, please up your standards. I need to talk to these women personally. Why would they say that? Why would they agree with that?
Yeah.
That's actually bewildering behavior. Like, no. Or
but
just
also,
find
if you think
who
about
respects you enough to not cheat on you.
But if you think about it, I have yet to meet a man that has been entirely faithful through his whole marriage. or a relationship.
Okay, yeah. So that's a good point. And honestly, when you first said it, I kind of made that face because I'm like,
Yeah.
like I guess, but
But I
no.
wouldn't sit around and allow a man to continue to cheat on me. It's one thing
And
to
that's
forgive
the
a
thing.
mistake.
I feel like
It's
for
another thing to
that, it's
just
like
accept it.
exactly. And for that, it's like you you're really like he's not gonna put any change. He's not gonna put any effort into changing for you. Like
Yeah.
that is what you
Because you're
are going
accepting that.
with. Yeah, you're like, oh well, you have money, so we'll just make it work. I'm not cool with that. Like, as even though niggas are gonna like, I truly do believe now niggas are gonna cheat. Like, niggas be cheating. They can't help themselves sometimes. But for you to just sit there and expect, oh, because I'm taking care of you, or because I have a lot of money, or anything of that sort, that you're gonna get to sit here and get a free pass to disrespect me is wild. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not.
I would never continuously let somebody keep hurting me, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's one thing, like I said, everyone makes mistakes. And again, I believe that, I hate to say it, but I believe that everybody cheats. And I'm not even going to just say all men cheat. I believe that temptation can get everybody if it's the right kind of
Okay, yeah.
temptation. At least
I would
once.
100
At least once,
I
and
would
I think you
100%
can
agree.
learn from that. And I think people, I don't believe that once a cheater, always a cheater, but I do believe that it can get you. I've seen people that I never thought would cheat.
Yeah,
So,
you just made me think. You just made me think about something though, because like once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't agree with that either. But does I feel like once a cheater, and this is what makes me like think like once a cheater, always a cheater is. I don't think that's true. But at the same time, if you stay with the person that cheated on you once, does it kind of make the cheating more likely? Because like, oh, she already stuck around this one time. Like,
well,
I
it depends
rattle with this.
how
I
you
rattle with this
handle
in my
it.
brain.
It depends how you handle it, if you ask me. Like, if you're just like, if you're gonna cry and then sit around and be like, okay, you cheated, let's talk about why, you know, go through the motions, right? And
Right.
then tomorrow act like everything's okay, baby, I love you, kisses, you're sorry, so we're good. And then it happens again, and then you repeat that cycle, and then it happens again, and you repeat that cycle. Then that's when it becomes like you're almost low key abusing yourself.
Yeah.
And that person
Yeah.
is abusing you. But I personally think that women more, I'm gonna not be sexually biased here. I think that more people, if they get cheated on, should make a statement and put their foot down and, you know, instill some fear in these niggas or bitches. And
Yes.
and then, you know, if it happens again, then it's like, okay, clearly you don't have the fear to lose me in you because you saw what happened last time.
Period.
And you don't respect me. You don't respect my body. So that's it. Then you end it, you know. But like, I don't know. It all depends. It's like, okay, are you getting cheated on and getting your ass whooped and getting talked to crazy and, you know, you're not getting affection and getting love, or did it happen? You know what? We're gonna get off of this because I'm not about to justify cheating. You're fucking wrong if you cheat. Period.
Agreed. Seconded.
Tashana Z said, I was once told, don't ask your partner if they cheated if you ain't got nothing to do with that information. Yeah, somebody said, I'm not going to tell you what happened if you're just going to cry and stay. Someone said that before. I heard that.
I never thought about that.
And yeah, I agree.
It's kind of like going through phones. Like, after
going through phones?
I just don't even want to go through your phone because I feel like anything's going to piss me off. Like, I could find something in the slightest thing, so what's the point? I know I'm going to get mad.
No, listen, I used to be queen, like, I'm checking your phone. And I'm not going to check your phone while you sleep. Let me see your phone. Because I got all my niggas' passwords. If I had a boyfriend, I got your shit. So I would check the phone and I would, like, go through everything. But then as I got older, I felt like, okay, you're invading this person's privacy. Like, I wouldn't want someone to go through my phone, whether I'm doing something or not, and see the way I chit-chat with my homegirls or you, like my sister. So then I'm like,
I don't need to go through Auntie's text messages. Like, it's not that deep. Like, it would be people be finding, you be seeing people finding like their boyfriend cheating by like searching the pizza guy. Like, the message will say pizza guy at the top.
Yeah.
And then it's like, why are you going through pizza guy's messages?
If you're going out your way to cheat to that extent, if you're cheating like that, you need to You need to get a new bitch. You need to
Literally.
leave. Because you're working way too
Single.
hard.
You need to be single.
Yeah, you're working way too hard to get away with this shit. That is fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah. You've never seen those posts? Every time I see that shit,
oh,
I'm
like
like,
if someone
yo,
saving
no
under
way.
something else. Oh,
Yeah.
about the one that's saved under settings.
Oh,
did you see that?
Dog.
Bruh. Like, no, if you're with someone like that, then that's an issue. Like, that's what I'm saying. There's like
someone like that, he's a genius. At least get some money from him. Like, figure it out, because that's smart for real.
He needs
the first
to do something with that. Oh, bitch, I
person
seen this
who thought of
post
that-
today. I seen this post from No For Sure podcast, B Simone's podcast, and basically the guy said that he has never met a man who didn't cheat until he found his purpose. Like, the man found his purpose before he stopped being a cheater or some shit. And he even said the same thing about himself, right? And he was like, once you find your purpose, if you're like smart enough to cheat and manipulate and do this and that to your person, whatever. Oh, look, this is basically what they said. Tashana said, nigga, if you're gonna cheat, go be an entrepreneur, because all that energy you putting into cheating, put it into a business. And it's true, because it's hard work to cheat on your wife or your significant other.
Also,
like, it's hard
maybe
fucking
even
work.
pursue acting or something, because that's so much energy.
Yeah.
Like, it is so much energy to deal with that many people. Like, bro.
No,
why do you even want that? Like, why do you even have that much time on your hands? I always think, like, why? Like, I just don't understand that logic.
So I think that the bar is really low, and I think that women are seeing that. Because I don't know if you still be on Twitter. I don't be seeing you on Twitter no more, but Twitter, like, girls,
I'm falling off a little bit.
okay, girls are so over the men of this generation, and it's so sad. Like, it's so sad what's in the dating pool today.
I'm gonna turn my camera off for 1 minute, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm still here. I'm still talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, women are preferring to stay single than like build families and get into relationships, because they know what it's gonna end up, turning into. And I think it's like, even relationships, girls are leaving quicker now than they would have in the past. Like, they stuck it out more. And I think that love is low key, like, becoming more conditional than it used to be, if that makes sense.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know. I low key feel like as adults, love can't be unconditional.
Yeah, I agree.
If you know what I mean.
I agree. Like, you have to at least hit some mark. Like,
yeah,
there's a condition to everyone's love. Like, you can't keep doing somebody wrong over and over again.
Well,
like,
even outside of the
doing wrong.
Yeah.
Like, doing wrong thing. Like, yeah, you have to. Everyone has standards, or at least should have standards. Like, and you're not even going to get a chance if you don't meet up to that condition. Like, it's all going to be conditional off of something. It doesn't even have to be materialistic. Like, it doesn't even have to be like, oh, he's broke right now, so I can't give him my love. But, like, if you can't love me the right way, that's my condition. If you stop loving me the way that I need to be loved, I'm sorry, but that's my condition.
If I can't be myself,
like a long
with you,
time,
there's a lot that can play into it. Mandisimo said it's so easy to swipe left or right that no one will actually try to love or handle someone else's things in their lives.
That's what we were saying earlier. Yeah, like, no, for sure.
No, I agree with that, but at the same time, like I said, as adults, we have to condition our love. It's like, I'm the type of bitch, I'll ride with you. I'll put up with this. We could be fucking broke and grinding to make it, like, whatever the case is. I like to consider myself a rider, but at some point I would throw in the towel if you're not really getting it together, right? Or like,
for sure. It's like, no, you finish. I'm gonna come back.
If I can't feel safe and protected here to be myself, if I can't like have an open place to be who I am and who I was before you, then okay, hold on, because you like the person that was before you. Because I didn't know you and I was away and you liked it. And then I get with you and you try to condition now who I am and put me in a box. That's also a reason for it to be conditional. But go ahead, say what you want to say, and then I want to read this post that I found. It kind of like goes hand in hand with what we're talking about.
So just like bouncing off of what you said about like being ride or die, like I would say I'm a ride or die. I am a sucker for like a we made it out the mud like kind of relationship. Like
Yeah.
the aspirational, like, oh my gosh, I remember we were sleeping on the air mattress and now we
Look
are
at us now.
look at our big ass house and our cars in the driveway.
Yeah.
But I'm not willing to like suffer in the process. And I've been expected in relationships before. I have been expected to suffer in the process. Like, no, we can't go out to dinner. No, we can't go experience life because we have to wait. We're going to be so rich that you're not even going to think about, like, nah, I'm young now. I want that now. Yep. Why do you want me to wait? That's crazy.
Yeah. And I can wait a little bit.
That was my condition.
Give you a little bit of time, but hold on, buddy. It's been 11 years and you ain't get me nowhere. Like, we're still only on step 2. What is happening? But okay, so this is like a thing about how love is no longer unconditional when you become an adult. So it says satisfaction, safety, and pleasure are the conditions of our adult relationships. It says it means we play a central role in the negotiation and creation of the structures, conditions, and parameters that define satisfaction. And then it says, hold on, I don't want to read shit that doesn't matter. Okay, the way we choose to cope, react, and manage will impact the conditions of our relationships. And that's a fact too. Think about this. Think about if you're like a strong talker, right? But you're with somebody who can't communicate, or you're with somebody who yells and slams things and does all that to communicate. But when you are not communicating, it's good. Is that a condition for you? Are you going to stick that out and be with that person? Or are you going to be like, hold up, like things are going to get ugly here and we got to make a decision. Like, are you going to change this or do I need to go?
Literally, I was in that. Like, I think nigga was like loco. Like, literally, it was always that type of time. I was like, we can literally have a discussion. I'm so good with my words, bro. Like, we can, if we need to sit in another room and text each other, like, we could figure it out. And it would just always go so left.
Yeah, because he doesn't know how to hold a conversation. That's the same way my baby daddy is. I mean, can't talk. I be trying to be so smooth and keep it cordial so we can have a co-parenting relationship, and he always just blows it the fuck up.
Like, but I think why?
Because that insecure men are just like that. They can't believe that someone is adult enough to sit and want to have a conversation.
Accept themselves. And for some reason always think that they are. They think that they're so good at communicating. In my experience.
That's like gaslighting and narcissism, honestly. Like, that's what that is.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's wild behavior.
But okay, this last part. It says that it's about power, like adult relationships being conditional. And it says there's a difference between the powerlessness of childhood and the powerfulness of adulthood. This was my favorite one. And it says we don't have to accept and settle for the miseries many of us tolerated in our families. We actually get to be powerful and impact our adult relationships, receive more than we ever did, and choose alternative relationships if we're unhappy. And
who said this?
What? It was like a meme thing, but like talk heavy because that's a fact. But then it's like you hear that and you're like facts. But then I also am on the realm of like people give up too fast today.
Okay.
So then it's like, but yeah, facts. If you're not providing what I need you to provide, and I'm not talking financially or physically, I'm talking about for me internally. If we can't get it together and be in sync internally, if you can't match that and cater to my internal needs, that is a condition for me. I can't, no matter how attracted I am to you, how much I love you, if you started with that and then stopped, or if you started and you're just cute and then you fall into like showing me that you can't do that, I'm out. Like,
yeah, for sure. And it's like, it's not saying you have to jump ship right away. Like, this is something you can communicate about. Like, I need you I need you to provide this for me. Like, if you want to keep me, if you want this to be a successful relationship, this is something I need. Like, it is essential. It is a deal breaker for me. That's
Right.
like the condition. That's my condition.
So how much you love me to show me that you're willing to fall in line with this? Because I've had to have that conversation, even in my marriage. Like, and granted, I've always been catered to internally, but there was just certain things that I'm like, okay, this is what I require from this, and X, Y, Z. And it was so easy to have those conversations, and him being like, all right, bet, I'm gonna start working on it. And then he would work on it and then stop working on it, and I'd be like, hey, hold up,
Right.
nigga. Like,
Yes.
I told you. And then it's like, okay, bet, I'm sorry, I fucked up, I forgot, I'm working on it. You got to give people the chance to.
Yeah, like you're like giving them the
time,
benefit
the
of the
respect,
doubt.
the
Like, I'm
chance.
really, like, yeah, I know that you can. I see that you're trying for me. As long as you're putting in that effort. I've been on both sides. I'm pretty lucky right now.
Yeah.
But I've been on the opposite side where it's like, whoa, like literally bare minimum shit is like a difficult task. Like, and I would be like, damn. Like, and I would see all these girls that are getting like way more than the bare minimum. And I'm like, damn, why don't I have that? Like,
yeah, and I'm over here all in love and doing whatever and being stupid for this nigga. And I'm just getting the bare fucking minimum.
So stupid. Like, so stupid.
So we did a poll, and the question was, how many times have you been in love? How many times have you been in love?
I would say like 2 times for real.
Okay.
Before then,
how many serious
been, like,
relationships have you been in? 2. Okay.
Like, so, I am 24 right now. My last relationship lasted 5 years, and I've been in I'm in a 1-year relationship now. So it's like most of the time that I've had to be in relationships, I've spent being in relationships. I've had like 6-month periods where I've been single.
But okay, so how many boyfriends would you say you've had as an adult?
2.
Okay, so that's what I mean. And honestly, the majority vote is 2 to 3 times is 70%. Just once is 27%. And 4+, but I'm still open, was 3%. I've been in 3 serious relationships. 1 was strictly like jail. The nigga could not stay out of jail. So we spent probably 9 months out of the 2 years we were together, actually physically together. So
that's crazy, baby.
Right? But I was holding that, like I said, rider, bitch. I was holding that shit down. I was writing him, showing up to fucking court visitation, bitch, putting money on my phone. I was doing all that. But I will say that I felt love with him, right? And then, my oldest daughter's dad, I think that was attachment, and I'm going to keep it real. I was with him for a long time, but I think it was attachment just based on the internal feeling that you feel when you feel love, right? So I'm going to say 3 to be fair, but really 2,
Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, definitely.
I did not expect you to say that.
The attachment part?
Yeah, the attachment part.
Yeah, it was attachment.
It was like, I would have probably said like maybe puppy love or something like that, but like.
But I dated him into adulthood, so I mean, I guess you could say I loved him, right? But the things that was happening around us and the things I was tolerating and who I became, like I lost myself physically, mentally. I wasn't getting catered to internally.
Yeah, for sure.
It was just, it just wasn't good. So that's why it's so hard for me to be like, yeah, we were in love. But like, I mean, I guess we were in a relationship for 6 years. That was what you would call it, right? But I was extremely attached. It was more hard for me to think about my day-to-day changing and having to go live back at home than to think about losing him forever.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay, I get that. That's something.
But to be fair, like I said, we'll call it 3 times that I was in love. Okay. And the people who said just once, Tashana, I know you you said just once, and I know you're in here. I don't know. I feel like people hold, like how I just did, a grudge against one of their exes and be like, oh, that wasn't love. I wasn't in love with that person. You feel me? So then they don't count certain relationships. But like, we can love so many people. Like, we can go through so many people and feel love for them the same way we did the one before, or even, you know, more powerful or less powerful than the one before. Like, I think that there's so many different ways to love somebody, so many different reasons. And I think that if you've only been in one relationship, sure, but if you've been in a, you know, long-term relationship and you're saying, oh, but it wasn't love because it didn't work out or whatever, why were you in it that long if you didn't feel love? And you mean to tell me y'all didn't say I love you to each other?
And that's what I mean. Like, there's some form of like, that's some form of love. Like, whenever you said like,
Yeah.
oh, it was just an attachment, I'm like, at least like puppy love, or like, you know, like that. I mean, also, I don't know, because I think love can happen pretty quickly, like, too. And I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, I couldn't have been in love because it happened so fast. And like, I felt like, da, da, da. And like, yeah, sometimes that's infatuation, but I feel like sometimes that could really be like a connection. And maybe you guys didn't work out and you just bypassed that moment, but that could have been a form of love too. So like, maybe some of those people that are like the 4 plus, or 4, but I'm still open. Maybe that's the kind of feeling they had. I don't know. Maybe they all had like
Well, I was
relationships where
happy
they
to
really felt
see
love.
that no one said they give up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I hate for people to be like, fuck love. I got hurt by this person, that person, that person. And that's why I say, like, you got to just pick your battles with love, because if people are going to make mistakes, you have to read their character. And I think that's
Yes.
what matters more, is reading a
Yes.
person's character. That matters to me
100%.
more than a mistake a person can make. You know,
I'm
like,
I'm
again, a
so
repeated
forgiving.
mistake is an issue, but like, what's your character like?
Exactly.
You know, how
I'm
are
so
you?
forgiving. Like,
How are you? Me too. Me too.
if you show me like that you feel you at least have some empathy for me, like, I'm probably gonna be like, okay, like, let's work through
Yeah.
this.
It's all about the way you respect me, the way you carry yourself as a person. Who are you internally? Like, was this really a
Mm-hmm.
mistake, or is that who you are? Like, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And mistakes don't have to be fucking infidelity, bitch. Like, you could have sold my grandma's Holocaust ring, bitch, for some fucking drugs. Like, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, anything, any mistake, you know, I feel like it can be forgiven, but you just have to judge the person as a person and not off your hurt and not off, you know, the mistake alone.
Yes.
You have to
Yes.
analyze the fucking character, and then that could probably save so many more relationships. Like, for example, like
Oh
we've been
yeah,
talking
people
about
heat of the
India.
moment.
He at the moment, everyone's gonna be angry and snap out, like, for
Exactly.
sure.
Like,
But
I feel like a lot of people be like really fucking up their relationship just based off some heat of the moment shit. Like,
yeah, I mean,
and
I
that
acted
could
up in
ruin.
the heat of the moment, so for sure, for sure. Tashana said, I say just once because honestly, sis, nobody's made me feel how that person has ever made me feel. But when two people just don't work, it's better to save the friendship, and that's what we did. Okay. I mean, I respect that. I'm not saying that everyone who said just once is like lying. I just felt like, damn, y'all only been in one serious relationship, because we're human and we feel
Oh,
love quickly. And I don't
that's
think
like
there's a time on love. Like, so
that's
you
like
could be
so
with somebody
cute though.
4 months, huh?
That's like so cute though.
Yeah,
Like, you
it
said,
was super
like,
cute for sure. Also, I wanted to say this. China actually always says this to me. It's like something like, you're not always going to be in love with the person that you're with, like, or you're not gonna always like the person that you're with. Like, people are
mm-hmm.
constantly evolving and turning into a new person, and you know, like, you might be here, like here, and they're here. And I'm talking about up here, not like in any other way in life, because, you
Oh
know,
yeah, for
we're
sure.
doing this together. But like, you could be going places mentally that they're not quite ready to yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then now you're like, I don't love you anymore because of this. But you got to give it a minute, and
Exactly.
you know, try to fall back in love with that person. You know, like, give it a chance. See how long it takes them to get to where
For sure.
they want to be, or where you want them to be.
For sure.
You're,
And especially like when you're young, I feel like, because I'm like 24, so I'm like, I have to really allow, you have to allow room for growth. Like, I can't expect the same things I would expect from like the people that are in like 10-year long relationships. Like,
yeah.
I can't expect that same
But
type of
even in
level.
10-year long relationships, you're still going to fall in and out with that person.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you
for
see that interview with
sure.
Michelle Obama, how she's like, um, for 10 years, I didn't even like my husband or some shit.
I haven't. I want to
Yeah,
watch
she
that.
was basically explaining how she could not fucking stand him when their kids were growing up. Um,
That's
and there's times where
crazy.
I can't stand mine, and not for any particular reason. It's just like, mm-mm. And like you said, like, you know, the young thing. Um, I got married young. I was 23 when I got married, 22, about to turn 23.
Hmm.
Um, and, you know, there was times where I was like, did I do this too young? You know, like, this is where I'm going to be for the rest of my life. So should I have waited, you know, so that I could
Yeah.
do other things first? And again, I analyzed the situation, analyzed the character of the person that I'm with, and I'm like, no, because this is what you want for yourself, you know. And people
Yeah.
sometimes fuck up there too. They're like, oh, I want to go have fun and I want to do this, and they're like, I'm gonna leave my marriage because I want to have fun, and
I've heard
that's mostly a man
that.
thing.
I
Yeah,
know
they'll
a
like
girl that did
walk
it.
away
I
from
know
their
a girl that did it.
marriage. Listen,
It's actually wild. Like, I know a girl who did it, and she was married when she was like 19, I think. Like, she was young. She was young. Um, but literally, she like started partying more. Like, she started hanging out with these girls that she worked with, and they were like probably closer to my age.
hmm,
She started
single.
hanging out with them. Yeah, and but she's married.
Yeah,
But she starts living like she's single low key. And it's like sad for the guy because like she starts living like she's single and he like behind his back at first, and then he like finds out. And it ruined their whole marriage because
yeah.
like she was like going ham.
And it's
And
funny
yeah,
you
it was
said
just
that
really
a
sad. I'm like
woman
a third person in this, so I don't really know like too deep in
details.
the
Yeah,
story. I just know a little bit,
no,
yeah.
but it's
But
funny that you're able to give an example of a woman because I'm like, it's mostly the men that do that. They'll feel all tied down to kids and providing, and this woman who now is walking around in a robe instead of
I
lingerie, like, and
mean
then
that
they'll
definitely
leave.
is the norm
Yeah, no,
for
it is, but
sure.
it's just
Like,
it's interesting that you were able to list a woman that has done that, you know?
yeah, honestly, the only personal one that I can like really think of off the top of my head is that girl, and I don't
Yeah.
even really know her.
Hmm. No, people do that. And listen, I wasn't about to go act on it, but like I said, I had thoughts way before I even went through what I went through with my husband. I was just like, bitch,
Yeah,
you're turning into this
I,
old lady. And then, like, I naturally, he didn't even ask me to. I watered myself down because, like, I've always been wild, lit, crazy, right? And I dress sexy as a
yeah,
mom, too. But then I got with
hmm,
him, and his family was so, like, put together compared to the families I was used to meeting in my family.
yeah,
So I was like, oh no, cover up your titties and don't show too much legs and, present yourself
no,
like this. And he didn't ask me to do that, but I just,
yeah. You
and,
feel like you naturally have to be more conservative because you're
yeah,
a
so
mom
when I
now.
did that, like I put on a shirt, it's a fucking long sleeve, and my cleavage was showing one time, and his mom was like, girl, put some clothes on. And like I had on a long sleeve shirt and just some cleavage showing. So I was like, oh God. Like, and I carried that with me. I still hear it in my head sometimes when I show my titties, but like now I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
But
because period,
yeah,
what? Like,
but like
listen,
that like carried on with me, and that was like way far in when I was already being conservative. So this is just one night I'm going out and showing my titties, and you say that, so I'm like, okay, yeah. And then when we went through what we went through, and I told him like, nigga, I watered myself down to be, who I needed to be for you and your family, blah blah. He said, I never fucking asked you to do that. He was like, be who you want to be. And then that like opened up a new door for him to allow me. And not that he was never, but like, he's like, bitch, be yourself. Be who you want to be. Be sexy. I want you to be sexy. I want you to be that
period,
person. I never asked you to
period.
do this. And I'm like, damn, like, he never did. I made this choice myself, and I was unhappy with it, thinking I was doing
Yeah,
it for him. So I resented maybe him a little bit. I was mad at myself, and I'm like, did I do this too early? Because
yeah.
I feel like an old lady, and I'm only 24, and like
Yeah, damn. Damn, that's so young too.
it's, yeah,
I feel really like blessed for real. Like, in this really, I was friends with my boyfriend before he was my
Y'all
boyfriend.
got together.
Yeah. So like that made a difference. Like I remember one time I was talking about my ex and he was like, he said you couldn't wear something. And we're just friends at this point. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute. Like,
Yeah.
talk
Like,
that
bitch,
shit.
go be your sexiest self, bitch. We walking around. That's
Literally,
my
and it's been
bitch.
like
Like, we
that
look
from the
good.
jump. Like, I never feel uncomfortable about like what I'm wearing, and I think I consider myself really lucky for that because like I can just be comfortable. Like I can just be like, oh, I want to look sexy today. Bet I'm gonna look sexy as fuck today.
Bro.
Like, oh, I want to have I'm gonna show my butt cheek today, and my boyfriend isn't gonna call me a whore for it later. Like, that is so cool because I literally.
And then so my previous relationship, that's how it was too. It was like, yeah, wear this, have your ass out. And, you know, we were like this. And I, out of respect for being a wife now, like I guess the stereotype that's put on, okay, you're a wife now, so you can't. That's fucking bullshit. And I think that's why people who get married young, I think that's why shit goes bad, because people think you're like this now, so you need to act like this. Fuck no. If you want to fucking turn up and have fun and you're a mom, take care of your responsibilities. You're a wife. Take care of your man and do you and be you. And make sure you have a man that's comfortable with that. And if you don't and that's who you want to be, you jumped in the wrong fucking marriage.
Exactly.
Like,
and I'm so heavy on like literally whatever bound, like just don't give a fuck what anybody has to say about your relationship. Like, it does not matter if they think it's crazy or the next person thinks you're stupid for whatever you're doing. Like, it literally doesn't matter because I'm happy, my partner's happy, like doing great. Like it literally,
I think that people fell from that too.
I feel like realizing that I just truly don't give a fuck, like as long as I'm at peace. It doesn't matter.
Literally,
what you
that
think.
I went from being that to not being that for 6 years, and then 2 years ago, it was just like, no, bitch, free yourself. And bitch, I became the person that I was, except so elevated where I'm not as like stupid.
You can
so it's like
see it, like you can literally see it on your everything about you. Like literally, I look back at pictures from you a couple years ago. I'm like, damn.
And now, exactly, bitch. And now I love myself more than I ever did. More than I ever did. I'm 30 and I've never loved myself as much as I have the past 2 years. Like, so
love that.
Yeah, you gotta be with somebody who allows you to be you and be comfortable being yourself unapologetically. Like, period. No, I don't give a fuck. Like, all respect to his family. I don't care what they think about me and what I wear anymore. I used to so bad, you know, like, as long as me and him have the understanding of you be who you want to be, I'm going to be who I want to be. And if he didn't allow me to, bitch, we never work out, because the way I love myself now, can't nobody control me and what I do and how I carry myself, what I post, what I wear. Fuck all that.
So like, heavy on that. Like, if it were to switch up, I would be like, whoa,
hold up. Yeah, like, you gotta keep it fun. You gotta keep it sexy. You gotta keep it spicy. Like, we'll be old one day and we'll deal with that then, and I'll probably fucking be 60 in a crop top. Like,
that part.
So
literally that part.
I don't give a fuck. And but like,
they just fuck.
We're young, bitch. Like, we can be sexy and be moms and be sexy and be wives and be committed girlfriends in a fucking mini skirt. Like,
exactly.
That don't define who we are. And I love a secure man who understands that.
I used to have to fight it so hard. Like, I remember he used to be like, oh, but these niggas are gonna be looking at you. And I'm like, am I looking at them now?
Exactly.
Like,
yes, they're looking at me and I'm yours.
You were looking at
You're welcome.
Because I look good, but you're mine. So what are you doing?
Exactly.
Like,
they're admiring your trophy, nigga. Pat yourself on the back.
Listen, when we talk later, remind me to tell you about the Olympic medal fucking comparison that I gave.
Okay,
yeah, because it's a really good one. It's chef's kiss. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of relationships fail because of that too. And then, like I was saying at the beginning of the episode, lack of like jumping into things and lacking the communication and understanding of who that person is, and what they require and love, like love language, you know, like I think getting to know a person's love language is extremely important, right? Because I was having a
Absolutely.
conversation, and I like to be touched. I don't love to be touched, right? So touch is not my love language. Communication, um, affirmation, being spoiled, like, like that
Princess.
is my love language. Princess
Give me
treatment.
princess treatment.
But
It's my love language.
my husband's love language, I discovered, is touch, physical touch. Like, he always in bed, he wants to be cuddling. He wants to, constantly have an arm wrapped around me, be holding me.
Same.
And I get anxious. Like, I think my anxiety doesn't allow that for too long. So I can do it for a minute and I can hold hands all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, I need the touch to stop. But we were talking about it today, and I think he was touching me, or I think I thought about it. I don't know. I think he was like, "Move, I'm trying to hold you," or like, I don't remember what it was, but I was like, I was sitting and I was thinking about it. Like, your love language is touch, and I didn't even realize it, and it's so combating because mine isn't. So
yeah, that's
yeah,
a huge deal. I always tell. Please keep going. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I always tell people, like, do quizzes with your boyfriend. Like, they are so top of the line. Do it. Like, find some, like, there's a few, if you guys want me to tell you, I guess I'll tell you, but like,
drop some
love language quizzes, kink quizzes, like, all type. There's a bunch of them. Find them and take them with them. It is so beneficial. Like, you will learn so much about your partner, and it's fun. Like, it doesn't feel like you're doing this big long task or like doing something boring. Like, it's like intriguing. You're like, oh shit, I'm like learning about you. And it's a great idea. Like, you'll learn how to love them better. Like, you'll learn what makes you comfortable in your relationship.
Yeah. I'm going to do some quizzes now that you said that, because
you should.
And we've been married 7 years, and I fucking, like, we're just getting to know each other all over. And that takes me back to what I was saying about how he never asked me to water myself down or be this and be that. We had these expectations of what the other was expecting, and we were moving off of that. And then the problems came 6 years in, and it was like this realm of communication opened up, and then we were able to like get to know each other and understand
it's like
I didn't expect that from you. I didn't need that from you, blah blah blah, and it made our relationship so much fucking healthier. Mm-hmm. So I think that quizzes and actually like opening up and talking about things, like from sex, like I would never voice things.
Take the BDSM kink.
Oh no, I will, but even outside of that, just like, oh, I want this and I want that from sex. Sometimes you just kind of go with the flow of what you guys always been doing. But I can open my mouth now and say, hey, and I wasn't able to do that before.
Yeah, for sure. Those quizzes go from like the most vanilla shit that you could think of to like the wild, like the crazy, like it's.
I remember you told me one of them that you took, so I definitely can imagine.
And it's interesting, like, not.
And plus, it's something fun to do with your partner.
Yeah. And it's like, while it is super sexual, it's like also like you're really getting. It's like intimate, like it really
and that part of it could be sexual.
Yeah.
You do a love language quiz, not so much, right? So it doesn't have to be all the sexual stuff. Like
I've seen
I want to do a love language quiz now, because like I'm like, oh, my love language is being treated like a princess or whatever. What is that exactly? And I know what it is, but like I want to break it down and actually get like results on, okay, this is what you like clearly by your answers. And I know his, like I know his love languages, but I wasn't paying attention to the fact that that is his love language until I like, it was like a light bulb. It was like, yo, we get into it, and not like real big fights, but he'd be like, damn, like I'm trying to cuddle, and I'd be like, it's hot and I just don't want to be touched right now. And it's like low key that really probably bothers him, even if he doesn't say it, because his love language is touch, and I'm his love, and I'm supposed to be able to provide that for him. So like I feel like you need to get to know each other's love language early on so that you can cater to that. Like when the person's upset, know what to do to make them better. Talk about these things early so that it doesn't come when you're upset and then you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
Now this
for
person
sure.
didn't handle you correctly, and you're sick of it. You ready to fucking leave and wipe your
I
hands and give
do.
it.
When I did mine, I was really like torn because I feel like mine makes me seem super like superficial. Mine is like receiving gifts, and it's giving and receiving gifts. Like I do, like I love both ends of it. But I feel like whenever I say that or whenever it comes out as that result, I always feel super selfish, and I'm like, oh my god, that makes me seem so materialistic. Like, and my ex, I used to get would get into really big arguments because he'd be like, oh my god, you're selfish. Like all you want me to do is spend my money on you. And I would be like, I don't need like a necklace. Like when I say it's gift giving, it doesn't need to be like rings and like jewelry and the best shoes and like shit like that.
Bring my
It could
favorite
literally
chips
be
home
like
because you thought about me.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like the other day I got these he brought me these I love Mexican street corn, and he found me a bag of Mexican street corn Cheetos, and I was the happiest fucking person in the world. I was like, that
Yeah.
is so like, thank you so much. Like,
Mhm.
it's that type of shit. It doesn't need like I'm not being selfish. I'm like, you're already in the story. You're already grabbing yourself a snack, and you thought about
I
me.
think we
That's what it is. For
all
me, it's
love
like
being
you thought
thought
about
of.
me. For
Yeah,
sure.
like naturally. It's like, what? You were thinking about me when you didn't have to be, even though you should be thinking about
Exactly.
me all the time.
And like and I'm a sucker for a peace offering. Like if I am mad at you, if we just had a big argument, I will go like to the store and I will bring like I'll be like, oh, he likes these cups, and I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna be like, here. I
Dog,
might not say it
I
nicely, and I'm
struggle
gonna
with
throw it
that.
at you low key, but it's a peace offering.
If I'm fucking mad, and this happens a lot. Like this nigga will come like when it happens a lot when I'm mad. He'll come with either flowers if he's getting off work and I was mad at him at work, or like if he's home, he'll like bring me a dish that I like or whatever. Like just
Yeah.
he'll bring something in the room and be like, here, like I'm ready to get over it. And I'm like, oh, you think this is just gonna make me get over it? Like
And then it's
I
like 10
definitely
minutes later, it's
struggle
like,
with that.
actually, it is gonna make me get over it.
Yeah.
Like, we're
I
back.
struggle though. Like I definitely struggle a little bit. Eventually I'm like, okay, that was cute, whatever, but like I definitely have a problem getting over being pissed off initially. It takes me a little minute, but
I
I'm
wish I
working
was
on
like
it.
that. I wish I was like that. I'm often accused of like, you just get over everything so quickly. I'm so like I could be so pissed off at you. I could be like screaming at you 1 minute, and then like the next minute I'm like, "Ah, I'm sorry, babe. I didn't need to be acting like that. Like that
Yeah,
was
no,
super extra."
you're even
Like
like that in our relationship for sure. So I can see that.
so easy,
Yeah.
like so quickly. I'll see a picture and I'll be like, I want to be cool again. Like
Yeah.
like well, I'm over it.
Let me send this to
It's so I
you.
cannot hold a grudge for the fucking life of me. I wish I could. It's like something I genuinely wish I could do. I mean,
I'm
there's
working
some
on
that I
it.
think I'm going to be able to hold, but for the majority of the time, I cannot hold a grudge for the life of me.
Um, I'm working on it. One day. I mean, I'm very forgiving to people, but in the moment, I'm like extremely stubborn. I will say that. I will not sit here in front like I'm just like, oh, you're sorry? Okay, no, I'm gonna make you feel sorry. You should be fucking sorry. That's how I be. I'm like, yeah, as you should be. Don't fucking talk to me.
I am
Like,
to a
like,
certain extent,
no.
like to a certain extent. Like I don't want
Takes
to.
me a couple hours. I just need a couple
I
hours
hate
to do that.
confrontation too. I hate confrontation too. So
You
like,
do.
if they're starting to if he's starting to get into a good mood, I am not like I for the majority of the time do not want to be like, okay, let me just continue on in this bad mood. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to figure something out. Like I'm gonna smoke a blunt. I'm gonna do something to at least try to get out of it. Like 20 minutes, I'll be in a bad mood. Like
That's good.
I'll have 20 bad minutes.
I be looking at the time and I would think about the moment I got mad and I'd be like, damn bitch, you've been mad for 4 hours. You is tripping.
That's
Like,
I've never. That's actually nuts. Even in like moments that I really can just continue to be mad. But also what comes with that is like a few hours down the line I might get upset again. But I'm only gonna be upset for like 20 minutes. But I'm gonna be upset for a little bit. I might make the
think about
vibe
it
a little
again.
awkward for a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
I mean,
okay,
just
so yeah.
said, I feel like it takes more energy for me to be angry or act mad. Like, let's move on. No, I agree. Like, I'm not for a second praising the fact that I stay mad so long because it does take so much energy out of me, and I always regret it at the end, especially when we make up and I'm like, bitch, you could have been over this shit. It was not that serious. But I'm so spoiled I just like, why'd you even make me mad in the first place? It's terrible. I'm working on it, guys. I promise. I'm fucking
But no,
working on
honestly,
it.
why would you do that? Like, we could have avoided this whole situation so easily.
You're like fuzzy again.
No way.
Yeah, are you getting texts or something?
No, I'm on Do Not Disturb, I think.
Um, Whatever, it's okay. So what would your conclusion be to, our generation lacking safe love? Because people are falling in love, like guaranteed, but no one is putting in the work that you have to put in to stay in love or stay married. And this goes for marriages and relationships. Like a lot of relationships that happen to be long term are failing, and a lot of marriages are failing. And I think that unless you're consistently being cheated on, being abused, or if this person is lacking just basic relationship stuff, like giving you attention and affection, if they're just making mistakes and y'all bicker about the fucking trash or fucking stuff that can be fixed, like social media, whatever the case may be, I think that there's more fight to be had.
So, yeah, I completely agree. I think it really just boils down to you have to put the work in. Like, I don't think you should just give up after. Don't just give up like on the first thing, like you said, like unless it is like something that's steadily happening to you, like, and it's a thing where it's like I can't put up with this physically or
Yeah.
mentally.
If it's
Like
changing you
you
as a person.
yeah, you have to at least stick around to try to see some of the evolution. If the evolution is not living up to where it should be, then just like try something new. That's might not be for you.
Yeah.
But like
And yeah, so
if you
that's where it
really
gets tricky.
truly love somebody, and I think that's another thing too, people be jumping into these relationships, they don't actually
Yeah.
love you. Like
Yeah.
they don't actually like they're not actually in love with you. You just did it so quickly. And then it's like, okay, maybe you should just like end this because you got are you even really compatible? But
Yeah.
overall, I think like if you guys are really in love and like there's a mistake made, don't just give up. Like there's so many types of mistakes that could be made, like you said earlier. But like if you guys are like really in it and you guys are in love and you guys are compatible, give it a shot.
But
Like at least try to see it out a little bit.
no, I agree. Um, I think that you can be somewhere and things could be good, but something happens and that can make you want to leave. And you could think that the grass is greener. I'm gonna do the little cliche with the quote. The grass is greener on the other side, but sometimes it's greener where you water it because statistically, if you move on to another relationship, 9 out of 10, you're going to face a lot of the hardships and troubles that you faced there. And that could have been a better place for you to be. But now it's worse over here. You're getting less,
Now you don't have now
consoling.
you don't have the
Yeah,
positives that come with this
exactly.
person.
So, I think that people should, instead of being so quick to run, like Pleasure P said, the easiest thing you could do is leave. um, Instead of being so quick to run, more people should, stop caring what other people think and fight for their love, because
Yeah.
love is failing, and it's becoming real lustful and materialistic out here, and families are breaking, and these kids are, growing up in a one-parent household. Like, we got to get it together somewhere, guys. Like, the fun only lasts so long, and you can run through a million people and still not find your perfect person. So see where it's good at, judge the character, make your decision based off that, see what makes you feel good inside, and then go from there. Don't be so quick to give up on love. But that is all for tonight. Thank you guys once again for watching Creating Anarchy. Thank you, Natalie, for joining us. I love having you. Drop some black hearts if y'all want her to come back again. Don't forget to go click the link in our bio and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, share. Until next week, guys, we're out.